This is a 7-part music theory class, and this is the last class, part 7 of 7. So I hope you all enjoy the class. This is, Tone Deaf No More, Music Ear Training for Beginners, sponsored by the Chestnut Family Foundation. Feel free to put any questions you have or to answer any questions in the chat. Make sure if you answer questions that you send it to just the panelists so that everyone doesn't see your answer. And I hope you all enjoy the class. It helps to have notes out. This class will likely be more fast-paced than the previous classes because we're trying to cram everything in that we want to cover in these classes. So I'll also be periodically putting notes of things that are covered in the chat. So if you don't have to be really nervous about trying to get every last thing down, but still try to take notes. And all these classes will be publicly available on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go over something that we've already gone over, if you want to just revisit any of these classes, feel free to do so. And also feel free to share this class widely with your family and friends. So I hope you all enjoy the class. Thanks, Mr. Logan.
All right, so we'll get right into it. So you can see on the board, major or augmented. This is talking about the chords. We've done this a couple of classes now. So the major chord is the happy chord. Augmented makes that chord larger, makes the interval larger. There's the sound of a major chord. Here's the sound of the augmented chord. So number 1 through 8, go ahead and write that down on your paper. That's our first exercise today, major or augmented. Major or augmented. All right, so here's number 1, major or augmented. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. Here's number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. All right, we'll put it on the board now. Number 1, major. 2, major. 3, augmented. 4, augmented. 5 was major. 6, augmented. 7, major. And 8, augmented. All right. Let us know how you're doing there. The next one, while you're still checking your work, we'll get ready for is minor or diminished. Minor or diminished. So this will be M or D. So the minor chord is what we remember kind of as the sad chord. Whoops, sorry about that. Here's the minor sad chord. And when we diminish that, it's like a minor chord, but we make it smaller. We diminish the interval between the top note and the bottom note. So that minor chord becomes become a diminished chord. So minor, diminished. Here's another minor chord. Here's a diminished chord. The diminished chord has an extra kind of crunchy quality to it. All right, so that's the exercise, minor or diminished. All right, so here we go with number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And here's number 8. All right, we'll go ahead and put those answers on the board now. Number 1 was minor, 2 diminished, 3 diminished, 4 was minor, 5 was minor, 6 diminished, 7 diminished, and 8 was minor. All right, good. So we'll do one last round of these, but now we'll do 8. Go ahead and number your papers for 8. Now all of these are fair game. So major, minor will be lowercase, augmented, or diminished. So we'll do 8, but now they're all fair game. Major, minor, augmented, or diminished. So all 4 options are available now, and then we'll move on to something different. All right, we'll do 8 of these again, so you can number your papers through 8. And here is number 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Oh, and lastly, number 8. All right, let's go ahead and check those. So for major, I'll do a capital M. For minor, I'll do a lowercase m. Diminished will be D, and augmented will be A. So number 1 was major, that's a capital M. Number 2 was diminished. Number 3 is a lowercase m for minor. Number 4, augmented. 5 was augmented. 6, lowercase m, it was minor. 7 was diminished. And 8 was major. All right, how are we doing so far?
Looks like they're doing pretty good. Yeah, that one was tricky. That one, more people missed more in that one than the last few.
Right. So when we open up all the options, it's definitely a little bit trickier. So when you're thinking if it's major or augmented or diminished, try to compare it to a major or minor sound. So if you hear this, that diminished chord has a really harsh quality to it. It's a lot crunchier. Now what would happen if we raise that top note? So see if you can sing. See if it would make sense for you to raise that last note up a little bit higher now. So try to remember that diminished is a minor chord with the top note lowered. So if you feel like you can raise that top note up a half step, then you might be dealing with an diminished chord. Now the opposite is true for the augmented. If you feel like you can lower that to get a nice major sound, then it might be augmented. But the biggest thing is that you guys know that these chords exist and know that you can spend time practicing them. So keep using the online resources that we've sent in the past to practice major, minor, augmented, or diminished. But it's great. I think you guys are doing a really excellent job because this is some college level stuff and beyond that you're working on right now. So that's really, really excellent. So we talked about last time a minor second interval. Minor second interval, if we're using C as our first note, a minor second is going to be from C to D sharp, which is a half step. Minor second is half step. We call that a minor second. Lowercase m followed by a 2. C to D sharp. Call that a minor second. This is just for review. Hopefully you guys, this is ringing a bell. If we go from C to D natural, we call that a major second or whole step. Whole step and half step, you guys remember that from our first day. So this is all material that we've been working with. We just are calling it a different name. Minor second or major second. Minor third, you might remember this sound from our minor chord. Minor third makes up the beginning of a minor chord. Minor third. And lastly, we talked about this last time, is with that E natural, our major third. So minor second is like a half step. Minor second is a half step. Major second, like a whole step. Minor third. And major third. So when we're playing these, especially when we do our next exercise, try to sing these. Try to sing these to yourself to help. So I'm going to leave those clues up on the board. And then our next exercise is dealing just with these four. All right, so we'll do a round of 8. So go ahead and number your papers once again, 1 through 8. I'll move this up here. Half step or whole step. And number 1 through 8. All right, so those are our options. Minor second, minor third, or major third. All right. Here is number 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. All right, well, let us know how you did. I know these are tricky when we have more options available. Number 1 was a minor second. 2 was a major second. Number 3 was a minor third. Number 4 was a major third. Number 5 was a major third. Number 6 was a minor third. Number 7 was a major second. And number 8 was a minor second. All right, any questions about these intervals? How are we doing?
Looks like the people that sent in answers got most of them right. Maybe one or two wrong, which is pretty good.
All right, so now we've got some new, a couple of new intervals to clarify. 2 of these are new, but we're going to call them by a different name. And 2 of these are not new. We're just going to call them by a different name. One of these intervals that we're going to listen to now is new. So we know the 4th and the 5th. We've studied these in our past lessons. So there would be a 4th, which sounds like this. 4th is the one that we used for Oh Christmas Tree. That's the 4th. And we also know the 5th, C to G. It's like the beginning of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So we know the 4th, Oh Christmas Tree. 4th. And we know the 5th. But what these are going to be called is perfect 4th. Perfect 4th and perfect 5th. And the reason we call these we don't call them major or minor is because if we were to make this minor, what would happen is that this F, if we lower it by a half step, would just go down to E, which is a major third. So if we lower that 4th by a half step, it just becomes a major third. So the 4th, it doesn't really have a major or minor quality, and that's the same thing is true for a perfect 5th. If we raise this up a half step, when it goes up to the minor 6th, it changes. It's no longer a 5th. So the 4th we call perfect 4th. And it still sounds exactly the way that we know it. Same thing for the 5th. We just call that a perfect 4th and a perfect 5th. But there's one thing in the middle. So right now, we have taken that 4th and raised it up a half step. We have augmented it. We've augmented that. So we can call this interval here an augmented 4th. Or if we change that G to a G flat, change that F sharp to a G flat, we could say that we diminished that 5th. But the name that you'll find most common, especially when we're starting out, we're going to call this a tritone. We're going to call it a tritone. It sounds like this. And In the olden days, they used to think that this interval was evil and that we shouldn't use it in music at all. And you might be able to hear why. It has kind of a sinister quality to it. Kind of a creepy sound. So here's the perfect fourth. There's the perfect fourth. Go up a half step and you get a tritone. Up a half step. Really try to sing these. I want you guys, let's sing. Here's the fourth. Now feel the tritone. So fourth, up a half step. Down, tritone. And then the fifth is up here. So those are our options now. We know the fourth. Here Comes the Bride or Oh Christmas Tree. We know the fifth already. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Now we have the tritone. That's the only new element that we have. So we'll leave this up. Those are our three options now. Looks like we're going to do now 8. Number your papers through 8, if you could, please. All right. Here is number 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Number 4. Here's number 5. Here's number 6. Here's number 7. And here's number 8. All right, let us know how you did in the chat box. That might have been tricky. Those 3 intervals can be a little bit trickier than you might think. All right, number 1 was a perfect fourth. Number 2 was a tritone. Number 3 was a perfect fifth. Number 4 was also perfect fifth. Number 5 is a tritone. 6, perfect fourth. 7, tritone. 8 was a perfect fifth. All right, let me know how you guys did on these.
So we've got almost all of them right.
Good.
Yeah, did pretty good. If you want to let us know in the chat if that was easy or difficult, let us know. But it seems to make sense to you guys, which is good.
All right, go ahead and take a moment. If you need to write this down, it is about to go. It's about to be gone forever.
Most of this should be in the chat. Yeah, most of this should be in the chat. I can't write down, obviously, the manuscript paper notes, but a lot of the definitions are in the chat if you want to scroll up and look at those. Yeah, and you always ask questions if you have any. Yeah, feel free. Let us know if you have any questions.
So if some of you guys were in music theory class, you'll have a head start on what we're talking about. A lot of you guys, really everybody knows what this concept is, even if they don't know the words to explain it. So in music theory, we have what are called progressions. So this is a major chord. That's also a major chord. Miss Mary had a little M. So if we're in C major, here's a C major scale. That first note is what we call the tonic. So I'm going to play a chord that will let you know what key we're in. Now the note that I play after it, there's the key of C major. That's also the same chord. So that chord that I just played, we'd call that a tonic. So here is C major. That chord is the same chord. So what I just played is a tonic chord. Now the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is G major, we call that the dominant. G, B, and D. And it sounds like this. So I'm going to play C major. Here's the key of C major. And this is what a dominant chord sounds like in C major. So here's C. We'll go to a different key now. So here's what the key of B flat sounds like. Think to yourself, is this chord that I'm playing now tonic or dominant? Here's B flat. Is this the tonic or the dominant? And you all can put that in the chat. So once again, here is the key of B flat. I'm just playing this to tell you what key we're in. Is this chord that I'm about to tonic or dominant?
Sorry, can you say that one more time? For just a second.
Oh, sorry.
Very good. Yeah.
Here is the tonic key of B flat. Now is this chord tonic or dominant? So you might be able to hear that this chord sound the same. So we'll compare that. So here's B flat. That's what the dominant sounds like. Can you hear the difference? Here's B flat. B flat. Here's a dominant chord. Here's a tonic chord. So we're going to just get our feet wet with this and do a little bit of practice.
If anybody has any questions about tonic or dominant chords, please let us know in the chat.
Yeah, so how this is going to work is that when we do the exercise, I'm going to play just like I told you. Here's the key of B flat. Now, we're listening to the second chord. So here's the key of B flat. Is this chord tonic or dominant? Great, so that's definitely dominant. So once again, here's B flat. Is this chord tonic or dominant? Great, just like that. So that's how we're going to do this. We're going to do some in different keys as well. All right. So for your answers, you can put T or D, but it might be better if we start getting used to 1 and 5. So we use the Roman numerals for that. So if it's tonic, use that I. And if it's dominant, use the V for 5. 1 and 5. All right, we'll do 8 of these once again. So we're wondering, is the chord tonic chord or dominant chord? So it's okay if this is tricky. This is all new material, but hopefully you'll be interested in practicing this later on when we're out of class. This is definitely on the pathway to real college music theory type classes. So it's okay if this is tricky. All right, so here's number 1. Here's the key of E flat. Now is this tonic or dominant? Here's E flat, and here's the chord. Key of E flat. Name this chord. Once again, key of E flat. Name this chord. All right, here's number 2, key of E flat. Name this chord. Number 2, here's E flat. Name this chord. Last time, here's E flat. Now name this chord. Here's number 3. Here's F, key of F. Now name this chord. Key of F. Name this chord. And last time, key of F. Name this chord. All right, here's number 4. Here's the key of C major. Name this chord. Here's C major. Name this chord. C major. Name this chord. All right, here's number 5. Here's B flat major. Name this chord. B flat major. Name this chord. Name this chord. All right, here's number 6. Key of B flat. Name this chord. All Number 6, B flat. Number 6, name this chord. Right here's number 7 in C major. Here's C major. Name this chord. C major. Name this chord. Once again, C major. Name this chord. Last time, name this chord. And number 8, here's C major. Name this chord. And last time. All right, let us know how you did. This might have been tricky. It's the first time we've done anything like this. Number 1 was a tonic chord. Number 2 was a dominant chord. Number 3 was dominant. 4, tonic. 5, dominant. 6, tonic. 7 was dominant, and 8 was tonic. All right. How do we do?
You some people did pretty good.
Good. So this, like we've been saying, is all about practice. So now this is just yet another thing that you've learned in ear training that you can work on and improve. So use those resources that we've sent and showed you in the past to work on hearing different chords. So it's great to know intervals, but if you really want to show off and be able to impress people, if you know chords, then that's even better. But always be practicing, especially when we're not having the class now. Oral skills, it's not about taking notes and getting the right answer. It's about time that you spent training. So you got to make this a part of your practice time for your instrument or your voice. So ear training is just as important as practice on your instrument or singing, and it will help you so much in rehearsal. So the key to being a great, excellent member of an ensemble is having good musical ears. All right, so that's all the time we've got today. Always remember, we're training, so we need to be doing that not only when we've got class time, but during the week too. These classes have been a lot of fun. I hope that we've all learned and been challenged, and I look forward to doing it again and to keep working on the chords. We're just starting to get into the fun stuff now.
Definitely. Yeah, you guys, thank you for joining. Thank you to everyone who's been to all of these classes. It's awesome to have you guys learn with us. And we've, covered some pretty advanced stuff. We accelerated through a lot of the easy beginner stuff really fast. So we got to some pretty advanced stuff by the end. While I'm talking, I was pulling up some exercises. There's tons of stuff online, but you guys can keep doing this at home. This one is tonedear.com. There are lots of exercises on this. You can do triads. And this is it'll play the chord for you. You can pick which ones you want it to go through. If you want to do these 4 or more chords. Here's another one. Same thing. You can pick which chords you want it to show you, but this one also gives you a picture of what the chord is. So if you're in the music reading class, you can pick the clef, how many keys you want it to go through. Same thing. Here's an intervals quiz if you want to these are, I guess, all the intervals we covered today. And this is the same thing, just hearing it. And this one is it plays it for you and shows it to you. And you can do harmonic, where is it? Harmonic or melodic, which is, one note after the other, or played together. There wasn't a lot on harmonic analysis exercises, but there's a lot of resources for that online. Here's one game. It's a little advanced. It covers more, more chords than we covered. But this was a good exercise, Tegoria.com. Yeah, so there's tons of ways to practice this online. Everything is going to get easier with practice, and it's going to enhance all of your music activities just to know all of these things. And yeah, this class will be online on YouTube. This is part 7 of 7, so all 7 classes will be on YouTube. Feel free to share these classes widely. Thank you so much to the Chestnut Family Foundation for sponsoring all of the AMP Online Masterclasses, and thank you so much to Mr. Logan for putting all of this together and putting all 7 of these classes out. It's been awesome, and thank you guys for joining. We'll have more information about future classes on our Facebook page and in our email blast. And yeah, feel free to check out all of our content on our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys soon.
All right.
Thank you,
Take care.
Thanks, Mr. Logan.